This is a fabulous man. I've known him for 20 minutes. But honestly, for all the things we've done back and forth on the email and back and forth, and I've seen him on TV at the PGA Championships, I've seen the clips that PGA provides for publicizing the Folds of Honor, that this is a man you'll want to listen to, and I can't be happier than to present Major Ed Pulido.
Thank you all so much. First of all, I want to thank the charities that are here today, because the way I look at it, in the partnerships that we create, we are the defenders of freedom, so those agencies can do what they do for our nation's citizens. And together, what we're doing is we're changing lives. And so with that, before I begin, I am honored to be here. But more importantly, I'm honored because my colleagues are here. And I want them to stand up, because this moment is not about Major Ed, it's about them. Thank you so much. I can tell you that I know these gentlemen and the spouses that represent and are their foundation, just like my wife, who's been my foundation. And I can tell you this much, that these individuals are scholarship recipients, and when Bill wanted service members to come here and be part of this event, I knew exactly who to call. And the reason I called them is because I wanted them to see what we're all about. I have 102 of these events going all over the nation. And how great it is that we live in a country where you as Americans have stepped up to the plate and understand that we're not going to make the same mistakes we made in Vietnam, and that is we leave those people behind. And with that, as I speak from the heart, but I have to say that whoever has served our nation in uniform, I'd like for you to raise your hand and be recognized, because I'm telling you, we're here because of you. Woo! Thank you. Thank you, and welcome home. Before I start kind of telling you a little bit about who we are as a foundation, I have to warn you that when I got hit by that roadside bomb, and I got to Baghdad and spent 17 hours in surgery, and I got one of my blood transfusions, I get real emotional. And I think the reason I get emotional is because in that blood transfusion there was a little female blood in me, so now I cry all the time. So I've got to break the ice, but let me tell you, my wife kind of likes it. She's like, "You've changed," and I'm like, "I know." But thank you, and again, it's an honor. On behalf of Major Dan Rooney, our president and founder and CEO, F-16 fighter pilot, PGA Golf Pro, the PGA of America, the United States Golf Association, LifeLock, American Express Titleist, and I'm not a NASCAR billboard, by the way, but it's important for you to know who those partners are. And you, the American people, I'm so gratefully honored to be here and to address you today and tell you a little bit about why we're here. The Folds of Honor Foundation provides the spouses and children of the fallen and wounded scholarships. The greatest and most important gift we have as service members is that we have families that honor us and take care of us and support our efforts when we're in the line of duty. And it's interesting because I wouldn't be here without God, country, and the American people. Right. And with that, our servicemen and women who serve our nation know and understand what it's all about. And so what I'm going to tell you is how I feel about these individuals who have served our nation. You see, on August 17th of 2004, I hit an improvised explosive device, a roadside bomb that would subsequently lead to the amputation of my left leg. I struggled. And as I took that breath and that combat medic pulls me out and I hit that IED, the first thing that I thought about is, man, my Lord needs to be with me right now, because I tell you, I'm in a bad position. As my leg was bleeding, it was on fire. All my left-hand side of my body was just riddled in shrapnel, and these individuals know what that feels like. The first thing you think about is your God, and the second thing you think about is your family. And as I laid on that battlefield in that 128-degree heat, and that combat medic pulls me out, puts me on the ground, first thing that he says is, "Man, Major, you're hurt bad. If you've ever taken CPR, don't ever tell the patient that, by the way." But he told me that because I was his first casualty on the battlefield. Didn't know that till later. And that young man and these individuals here know and understand how important our training is when we have to utilize it. And it's the non-commissioned officer and the enlisted soldier who have taught me and have taken care of who I am as an officer in the United States Army. And as I look at these men and their families, they know and understand that as the non-commissioned officer and enlisted and as an officer, that we must rely on those individuals to take care of us in the heat of battle. And they did just that. As I grabbed that combat medic's hand and I clinged tight to it, I remember thinking to myself, if I get out of this situation, all I'd ever want to do is help his family. That's what I'm doing at the Folds of Honor Foundation. Went from 128-degree heat, got put on the helicopter, went to Baghdad, spent 17 hours in surgery, blood transfusions, was transported from Baghdad to Germany. Germany, Walter Reed, Brooke Army Medical. Some of these individuals ended up at Walter Reed. I ended up at Brooke Medical Center. The reason I ended up there is because my daddy said, you know, I was injured in combat and I went to Brooke. You ought to go there too. I'm like, okay, Dad. And my brother did too. And the thing about our family is that we have 3 Purple Hearts. My father, who's my hero. Thank you. My father, who's my hero, my brother, and now me. And the great thing is that when I look at that Purple Heart, I understand that there has been bloodshed in this country for the freedom that we have. And so as I laid there and had 17 surgeries through a span of about 40 days, trying to repair this leg, I had no choice but to amputate. But guess what? It was the saddest day in my life, but it was also the best day, because what God gave me on that day was inspiration and drive to do what we're doing for these families. Thank you. And it is with that I recovered in record speed, went to different sports camps, learned to play golf, and I'm going to tell you, that Ramon Padilla is the man. He is. But you know what? I used that as a vehicle for recovery, and they have too. But then what I also learned was that, man, golf can give so much. And I was with Joe Steranka, the CEO of the PGA, yesterday. Golf gives back $3.5 billion to charitable causes. The biggest sports group that does that. And it's combined with all the sports groups. And so how great it is that we're using that vehicle. Because as I recovered, I understood that I had a mission. And that mission was to take care of those families. And it was interesting. I meet Major Dan Rooney. And you got to bear with me because I got to tell you his story. Major Dan Rooney, F-16 fighter pilot, PGA golf professional, is on a United Airlines flight going to Grand Rapids, Michigan. And he witnessed what no one ever wants to witness. That is the remains of someone's body coming back from the combat zone to their family. And what happens is that you get that flag. And he understood that there was a little boy named Jacob Green on that tarmac. And he understood that, man, I serve my nation, but I've never seen that part of it. And in seeing that part, that's what was motivating him to call his wife and say, I have to do something about it. And he did. He created the Folds of Honor Foundation with all our partners, and now you being a part of that. We've awarded 1,163 scholarships. $5.3 million has been garnished from your efforts. That is in just 3 years. And let me tell you, we're not perfect, we're little, but we're driving to the hill, because I'm telling you, that the thing about this nation is, no matter what happens in Washington, no matter how much they fight up there, that we as a nation can stick together and work together for the lives of these individuals that are right here. That is our duty, our honor, and our responsibility. And so whatever aisle you're on, Democrat, Republican, Independent, we are all Americans, number one. And number two, we must know and understand that when somebody comes back from the war, that we must take care of them, because we leave no one behind in the field of battle, so help me God. And so, as I end, I want to tell you how grateful we are as scholarship recipients. My two little girls, Caitlin and Kinsley, and my wife Karen, are so honored and humbled to know, along with these families, to know that you didn't forget about us. And I must tell you as I end, it was General Peter Pace, former Joint Chiefs, Marine. Let me tell you, I love the Marines too. Because he came in my room and he inspired me back in October of 2004. And what he said to us at Brooke Army Medical Center would change a lot of our lives, and that's what drives us. Leaders tell us things to make us do what we need to do. And Bill, you are a leader. Along with all of your volunteers here, you are all leaders for this cause. You are. And it is with that he told me, Major, always remember that on that day you didn't lose that leg. What you did on that day is you sacrificed it for your country and for everyone in this nation to be free. Thank you for what you're sacrificing for us, your time, your energy, and your commitment to take care of us. You're all patriots, and on behalf of my friends, my colleagues, and my wounded warriors, please stand up. We thank all of you for what you're doing for all of us, and for not leaving us behind in the field of battle, so help me God. Thank you.